Lesson 8.2 Video 3. Let's try an example given a graph. So here we have a parabola opening upward, so therefore the A must be positive, and if we look at the equation, the A is a 1, positive 1, so that works out. Therefore the vertex must be a minimum. Okay, so we'll look at that as we go through this. Your line of symmetry should go down the middle of it and through the vertex. And that line of symmetry is of the form x equals something, and if you look closely it looks like it's going to be 2. But let's use the formula just to make sure. And again, when we do this, it's very good to write down what A is, what B is, and what C is before we get going. Now again, our equation is in standard form, which is the only form we can use to get A, B, and C out properly. So in looking at this, the A is 1, like we said, the B is a -4, and the C is 5. So the equation for the line of symmetry is a formula. Now again, we know what it is by visual reference, but let's see if it is actually that by algebra. We said it's -b over 2a. So the opposite of b, and the b is -4, over 2 times a, which is 1. So the opposite of -4 is a +4. 2 times 1 is 2, and that gives us a 2. So x equals 2 is correct. What's the coordinate of the vertex? Well, the vertex said, or it's right here. So when we look at it, it looks like 2, 1. Okay, we're given the graph, so that's an advantage to this. If we don't have the graph, it's a little bit more algebra work. But let's look at the characteristics of the vertex. The vertex x value is supposed to be the same as our line of symmetry, and that is true. The y value is what you get when you plug that 2 into your function. So if I have x squared minus 4x plus 5, and I plug a 2 in, I get 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 5. That gives us 2 squared is 4, minus 4 times 2 is a -8 plus 5. So we have 4 minus 8 plus 5, which works out to be a +1. And that's doing it algebraically. And that does correlate to what we see on the graph. The domain and range. The domain is all reals, as stated in our chart that we talked about for parabolas. The range, since A is positive, it opens up, so our range will be y is greater than or equal to our y value of the vertex, which is 1. If you look at that, that should make sense. Our graph is at 1 and above and never goes below. So the range is the y values greater than or equal to 1. And this is working out these questions given a graph to help us with the process. And this ends lesson 8.2 video 3.